people coming, say, from Sweden, wherever, they come here and the city's an awful attractive draw. You know, people will want to go see Empire State Building if they were tourists. How do you not lose the tourist potential to the city?
Well, I think by competing. You know, most of the events will be in Nassau County, so whether they stay in the city or they stay at the Marriott or Garden City Hotel or the Route 110 hotels, they will be shuttle bused or transported to the venues that are held in Nassau County. If they're staying in the city hotels, they'll be shuttled out to Nassau County. I think once you've got them here for an event, then there will be an enormous amount of interest to see what Long Island has to offer, as well as booths. The Long Island Convention and Visitors Bureau is instrumental in setting up different agendas where they can go, different transportation requests. I mean, basically Long Island will meet any and all requests to see Long Island. And I think that's important to keep, once you've got them here, to keep them here for the downtown business districts, for restaurants, and the like.
Now, let me play the devil's advocate role here. Belmont Stakes, traditionally, it's one of the biggest events in sports. This past year, they had a potential Triple Crown winner. It drew over 70,000 people. That seems like an opportunity, a nice thing to do a dry run on the Goodwill Games. And yet the only municipal presence was the town of Hempstead. Greg Peterson had a booth there, and the politicians that you saw were Mayor Giuliani, Al D'Amato, you know, asking people if they had a good horse. And why hasn't the county ever why didn't the county take advantage of that, do you think? Why didn't we do a dry run? It's in a district which is, you know, again, represented by a member of the majority, John Ciotti. What happened? Or was that, did they drop the ball, or was it they just didn't?
Well, I think traditionally, and you from writing the stories would know this, that the last leg of the Triple Crown is under-advertised. I mean, if you go to the Kentucky Derby, it's a week-long event.
Right.
The Preakness is the same thing. I mean, you know, hundreds of thousands of people show up to these two events. In New York, they say the last leg, the Belmont, is just the 9th race at Aqueduct, or the 8th race at Aqueduct, you know, at Belmont.
Right.
So I don't think it's been hyped by NYRA enough in the years past. I don't think that there's been enough of an event made around the Belmont, the running of the Belmont. Right. And I think that's where Nassau County and New York City have to come together to promote that in the future. Because that could be another national event, such as the Preakness and the Kentucky Derby.
Right. Now, we talked about moving athletes, moving their families around to see different parts of Long Island. How are you going to deal with, there's a lot of traffic in that area now. Our offices, your offices are in Mineola. During a weekday, even at the end of July, it's going to be pretty packed. The development of Roosevelt Field and so forth draws a lot of people on the weekends. How do you deal with the local traffic issues and this event traffic issue?
Well, we know that we're trying, Long Island Convention and Visitors Bureau, as well as the Nassau County Parks Department, is trying to create, you know, bring in shuttle bus services. So there will be contracts with shuttle bus service as well as luxury transportation. Right. I mean, we know that some of the professional athletes will come with, you know, their sponsors, their limousines, and all like that. It's the people that come over to watch the games. It's the people in New York that are vacationing on Long Island during that week that need parking, that need to get around the different programs and competitions that will be held in Nassau County. So the Parks Department, John Kiernan, who is the Commissioner of Parks, has been working on this at great length. There'll be shuttle bus service not only to the events, but then from each event to another, as well as to Eisenhower Park, where there will be parking, as well as back to the programs, out to the restaurants and such. Now, so I don't see it as a great problem.
Now,